Hello everybody, my name is Christian Quick, and welcome back to the Express tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about mod item groups. Mod item groups is something that's very popular. It's just so that you don't have to /give anymore, and you can just search it up in your search bar and it makes it all there. So to add this stuff, I'm just going to quickly just make a new package. We're going to call it item, and then inside of this we're going to make a new Java class called mod item group. We're going to put this in here, and then the first thing that I like to do is we're going to search up the fabric item group, and then I'm going to middle mouse button click on here. We're just going to copy these two little examples here, the example that they have, and then we're just going to paste it over fabric. Now it's going to become this jumbled mess, but it's perfectly fine. So let's just hit enter on the things. So we don't need this override, so we're just going to get rid of it. And then every time I see a space, just hit enter on all of those spaces. And then what we're going to do after we do that is compress it properly, because it now can recognize that it's not supposed to be liked. So let's go, before we compress it actually, let's go over everything that's red, and then just kind of import everything that needs to be imported. Minecraft. Our mod ID needs to be the hmh3.mod ID, so whatever your mod is called. Registry, import, registries, import the item group text, import, item stack, items, and then our test item. So now we have our item group. This is the name of our item group, so let's call this mod blocks. And then on here we're going to call this mod, let's just call this mod blocks. And then we'll hit Control D, and then on this next one we're going to make mod items. And then here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to call this items. So here it's going to register. It can only register things that exist. So let's call this one the mod block. Should be blocks. So let's just call that blocks for that. And then this is our, what do we want our thing to be called? So let's call it mod blocks, because that is basically the lang file for it. Our item stack items for this. So instead of items.diamond, let's use something in our mod blocks folder. So we're going to look up mod blocks dot, and then we have our two blocks. Let's just use our regular smiling block, and then let's put on our entries. Our entries are all the blocks that we want to insert in here. So let's say mod blocks dot animated block, and then we'll Control D to copy it, and then we're going to do mod blocks blocks. Now they are both in there. Notice how I also made a mod items. So now let's compress this the way I want. So we're just going to do it like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on entries. And then we're going to put the build up here as well as this. And what that is going to do is make it much easier for me to just take this right here. We're going to Control C and then paste that in here. And then we're going to call this mod items. And for this, we don't really actually have anything that needs to be seen. So we're just going to ///// and let's take these out because we're going to fill them in with mod items when we start getting items. So that just makes uncommented codes. And then obviously I want this to be called mod items. So now we have that all good and running. The last thing that we're going to need to do is initialize it. So I like to change the onInitialize to register whatever it is I'm registering. Register mod item. Well, let's just do register item groups. And then we're going to need to put static in front of this. That way the method we're going can see it. So we have this, and then we're going to do mod item group dot register item groups, and then let's hit play. Alright, here we are in our wonderful world, and we can now search in with our second page. Click on the tab, and now we have our animated and regular block. If I simply type in block, it will, if we scroll to the bottom, your mod stuff will always load at the bottom, but they are there in the search bar, and we have our item tab, so that's basically that. So if you have any questions, you just ask me down in the comments below, but that's going to wrap up item groups for this Express tutorial. Quick note for Express tutorials, if you notice anything as a green line, I'm probably going to mention this again later at some point or make a new video about the difference between the regular tutorial and the Express tutorial, but if you notice the green line around, that's how you know it's the Express tutorial. So with that in mind, if you have any questions, you can ask me down in the comments below. But that's going to wrap up this video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and without further ado,